Anybody who has played NBA 2K for more than about a decade would all be in agreement that 2K has officially died out. Even though the numbers and the statistics don't check that and don't reflect that, 2K as a whole is dead. The community that 2K was strongly built on is now completely obliterated. And part of that is 2K's fault. And the reason why 2K has fallen off and what can fix 2K, we're going to be diving into today. When NBA 2K first came out, from the early 2000s to the late 2000s and even into the 2010s, 2K was more than just a basketball game. It was a culture game. It was a game of representation. Gaming as a whole was just not a strong community for people of color, and more specifically, black people. And so when 2K came out, that was like our game. That was our community. That was something for our people, my people, niggas. And when they introduced online game modes and, the black tops and, you'd be able to play as fucking Bow Wow and Snoop Dogg, and they had celebrities that you could play as, the music that was in the game, the clothing options that were in the game, you'd be able to wear big baggy shorts and headbands and have all different types of swag. Culture that just simply does not exist anymore. They took the culture aspect out of the game. If you look at the clothing items from 2K16 to 2K26, it is a complete cultural difference. It's like as if when 2K16 came out, they had people in the culture in our community working on that game, and now it's just like a game meant for people that are not of color. Look at it. Like in 2K26, you could walk around with a fucking robot head or a burger head or a fucking turkey on your head or some knight in shining armor, but you can't walk around with some baggy jeans. You can't walk around with the lines of your drawers showing. You can't walk around with, your joggers rolled up a little bit or a hoodie under your jersey. That is culture. That is what niggas want. That is how the game got such a strong community. So the game itself killed itself before we even touch onto the gameplay aspects. Outside of actual gameplay, the game killed itself culturally. If you look at the past 10 years, look in 2K20 or 2K16, 2K15, 2K14, all the way up to 2K18, there were community leaders in the 2K community. There were content creators that people looked at and they were like, you are the face of the community. Whether that was Soul Illuminati, Kill Hit 'Em Up, Pretty Boy Fredo, Juice Man, QJB. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. If you look at the 2K community now, there is not one face of the community. There isn't a nigga who's going to hop on the game and everybody's going to chase them around because they want to play them so bad, unless it's a big celebrity that's just happening to play 2K and they're not an actual 2K player. I mean, even if you look at the biggest content creators right now in the world, Aiden Ross, Asho Speed, Phantom, a majority of the niggas in AMP, all of these content creators all came from the 2K community. Bruce Drop 'Em Off, Cash Nasty, Flight Reacts, all of these guys came from the 2K community. You want to know what they all have in common? They all left the community. You want to know why? For one, it's toxic. And then for two, it was not for them anymore. Mike Wang, Ronnie, and all the developers, they don't really fuck with niggas no more because niggas, I guess, are not marketable and don't bring them in as much money as you do people who are not of color. They stopped listening to the faces of their community, so then those faces of their community left, and now there's no structure at all. Now, once we get into gameplay, look at the gameplay aspect of the game. The game is just it's just too overcomplicated and it's too fucking oversaturated with too many different game modes. If you look at 2K26 right now, you have the My Park, you have the neighborhood, like miscellaneous courts like the Gatorade court, the 1v1 court, the practice court, the shoot around court. You have stage, you have the event court, you have the fucking theater, you have the pro-am, the rec center, the proving grounds. That is like 7 game modes, and 4 of those game modes all do the same exact thing. And because you have so many game modes, the players in the game are divided, so it's really hard for you to get games. For example, back in the day, you would just load into the park and that was it. You either play park or you play stage, or if they had an event, you played an event. That's 3 game modes and they're all distinctively different. Like none of them are the exact same. Proving Grounds, Pro-Am, Rec Center, and the Event Center all basically are the exact same game mode, and the theater. That's 4 game modes that are completely replicated of each other. So why would I go to the park and try to run up a 100-game win streak in the park when nobody's going to want to play me because they can just go do skill-based matchmaking in the theater or in the Proving Grounds or in Pro-Am or in the Rec? And because of that, the servers are completely dead. Go load up in into 2K26 right now, you will not see a soul in the My Park. And if you do, nobody will be on a winning streak above 10 unless it's a fucking content creator that really nobody actually even gives a fuck about anyways. And then the gameplay itself, look at how the hoops looked in 2K15, 16, 17. It looks so smooth. It looks so fluid, because it looked like actual hoops. It was cheesy. That was what was fun about it. Now you have these people who don't know a fucking thing about the culture, and they can't actually go out and play basketball, so they want 2K to be a simulation. And that's where the game fucked up gameplay wise, because nobody wants to play real basketball on a virtual pixelated basketball game. If that was the case, I would take my big black ass outside and I would go dribble a fucking basketball and try to do the moves that are in 2K26. We want cheesy. We want something that is fluid, that feels like a video game. I don't want to watch real basketball and then play real basketball and then get on the game to not play real basketball to only be led by playing actual basketball. That's stupid as fuck, and it's not fun at all. You can't play realistic basketball on a video game and expect to have fun. You're just playing a simulation at that point. We might as well be playing 2K26 VR edition. So I think if you add all these things together, gameplay, game mechanics, the culture, and you compare the games from 10 years ago to games now, people just simply have fell out of love with 2K because there isn't any actual soul behind the game. There isn't any culture. There isn't any gameplay that sticks out. Bro, I don't know about you, but me personally, I cannot remember a single 2K after 2K22. 2K22 current gen is the last 2K I vividly remember the gameplay, the park, what it looked like. 2K23, 24, 25, and 26 all kind of just blur together. I couldn't tell you one single thing about 2K24. Please tell me, what did the park look like in 2K24? Exactly. You have no idea, because that shit was donkey ass. That shit was dog shit. Nobody cares about 2K24 or 2K25 or 2K26. There isn't any culture. There isn't any love. There isn't any soul. The hairstyles have been the same for the past 10 years. The player models are fucking shitty. Everything about the game is horrible. The clothes are horrible. The clothes are expensive. The game is just microtransaction. It's not actually trying to build a loving fan base that actually cares about basketball. 2K does not care about basketball. They don't care about their community. They only care about a dollar sign, and they make that very evident, and it's like a smack and spit in the face to all of their core fan bases. And that's exactly why 2K26 is dead and will remain dead. And the only way to fix that is to add more culture into the game and to hear out your fan base and to act as if you actually care about what they have to say about your product. Because you just blatantly ignoring your fan base and how they're judging your product is only going to lead you down one path, and that's the path of destruction. Yeah, the numbers look good now, but that's only because of microtransactions, better marketing, and then just inflation. Once those things wear off and people start to play other games and people really just stop paying attention to 2K will completely die off, and they'll either have to A, sell the company, 2, bring back everybody who worked on these previous games and kind of basically do a reboot, or they'll just stop making basketball games as a whole for a few years. But that's all I have to say in this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.